Perhaps you have some ID?
We're with the Las Vegas Crime Lab. We have a few questions.
Yes, I'm Andy Penmore. Is this about Stan? He never came home last night, but then this is Las Vegas.
I'm afraid Mr. Everston is dead.
Is this some kind of weird joke? Craig behind this maybe? Or Maya? More for off-the-wall publicity? I've been up all night slaving over some final tweaks Stan wants, and I'm in no mood for practical jokes.
No joke? He's dead. Murdered. In your demo booth.
No.
He was shot 3 times, Mr. Penmore. That's why we're here.
Oh my god. This is real. Really? Stan's my friend. He can't... We were just together last night, so... My god.
This is no game. This is real, Mr. Penmore.
Just last night, in the demo room, putting finishing touches on the presentation, looking for bugs, discussing these final tweaks. God, I can't believe this. I headed back to my hotel room at around 1 in the morning. Stan wanted me to get on those fixes, and he stayed at the booth, preparing for the media demo today. No, nobody I saw, anyway. Sure, this is a disaster, personally and professionally. I'll help in any way I can. Anything you need.
Looks like this area is clean. Way to be thorough. Hey, a scorpion. Maybe we ought to call Grissom. Oh, I keep forgetting you're new. Grissom gets excited about bugs. Only, I don't know if you'd call this a bug exactly. Vic had a cell number, but we didn't recover a phone from the body. Did the killer lift it for some reason? Email's corrupted. A virus, maybe? Well, Miss Wynn painted a picture of a hype machine rolling happily along, but it looks like Stan the Man was not so happy with her marketing campaign. That's pretty interesting. With high-end speakers like this, if the audio is cranked, a gunshot could easily be covered up. Looks like this area is clean. Way to be thorough. .45 automatic. This could be our murder weapon. Someone could have shot our Vic, then placed the gun back in the display.
I can't think of anything else for you.
Looks like this area is clean. Way to be thorough. Looks like this area is clean. Way to be thorough. Looks like this area is clean. Way to be thorough.
Well, the tox screen is in. While there was no venom detectable in the bloodstream, a high number of antibodies were present, confirming the sting happened within 48 hours. Could be a yellow jacket, could be a scorpion. Well, most of them are non-lethal, to adults at least. Worst case, the sting could have caused anaphylactic shock, like a bee or wasp sting. A severe reaction can cause death, but not in this case.
You don't quite have a match there. Little details make all the difference when you're doing a comparison. When you're sure, ask me for confirmation. That'll go on the assembly table.
Yeah, I had the phone company track it to a general area using the GPS. It just arrived. She's on her way to interrogation now.
Look, when you get hired for a job, it's because you got the right credentials, right? I've got a master's in marketing, but Stan thinks he knows how to do my job better because he's a guy. These last 2 weeks, man, they've been brutal.
What do you mean?
The company's come under a lot of critical fire lately, over the same old blah blah, excessive violence, lack of morality. I tried to tell him that negative publicity was a good thing, but he told me I just didn't get it. I'm a woman in a man's world, you know? If a girl doesn't play hardball, she gets rolled over. I worked too hard to have some chauvinist like Stan keep me from reaching my goals. I mean, I'm sorry he's dead. He was talented. This wasn't anything you'd kill anybody over. A professional disagreement that got a little ugly, is all. Argue is a little strong. We raised our voices, but hell, it's loud in a firing range. I guess maybe I started to kid him, you know? And it got out of hand. Just childish crap. Like this insulting text message he sent me the other night. Really pissed me off. Oh, hell, I don't remember. I mean, it's a dead issue, right? Sorry. That sounded bad. I just mean, the guy's gone. Let's cut him a break.
Hey, looking for a hint? Hey, glad to help. As long as you realize that it'll count against you in your evaluation. Okay, let's fire a bullet from the 45. This will give us a striation sample. The 45 appears unmodified, It has 3 bullets in its clip. I processed the GSR from the .45's hammer. There's an anomaly, though. The .45 has 2 different variations of gunshot residue. One matches the .45, but the second is from some other bullet. I ran the serial number through Firearms Registration Database, and the computer tells us this isn't a gun club gun. It was owned and registered to our victim.
Just that I saw Maya wad it up and throw it at Stan yesterday, right after we checked in. She was pissed. Actually, the surprise would have been for her not to be. You see, she and Stan, they've been at each other's throats for 3 weeks. It's been getting nastier and nastier as we got closer and closer to this show. They did not see eye to eye on the market strategy at all. Stan's. Well, looks kinda bad, sort of sick at the moment, but I let this friend of ours do that as a practical joke. Thing was dead, couldn't hurt him, and Craig said Stan would get a kick out of it. Those two were always doing that kind of thing to each other, so I just went along. Sure, of course, at a big show like this, he'd be dead without it. Well, sorry, poor choice of words. Let me think. Yeah, he had it, because he text messaged me right after I got back to the room. Asked me to order a Cobb salad from room service and have it waiting for him. Thing's still sitting here, wilting. Hell no, it was dead. Couldn't hurt him, or me for that matter. Yeah, it is.
May we collect it as evidence?
Well, I know I said I'd do anything to help out, but there is a line. I have a lot of stuff coming through here, like time-critical bug reports on the game. I'm sorry, I can't give it up, especially since it has nothing to do with Stan's death. It's Stan's. He bought it for his .45. He used it last night at the gun club. He's a game designer who was one of the founders of the company with Stan, even before I arrived. He left about a year ago. His sense of humor is kind of out there, call it an acquired taste. For example, just before he left the company, when he was working on Gut Wrench 3, he put in a cheat code that lets you kill the boss. Of course, killing bosses is common in shooting games. At the end of a level, it's usually big bad guys or grotesque monsters or whatever. Not yuppie businessmen who look exactly like Stan Everston. You had to be there. Anyway, this was about the time Stan fired him. Gee, I have no idea. He drove here on his own just to attend the trade show and hang out with us. I couldn't give you his license under hypnosis, man. It's some SUV, American make, I think. Ask Maya, why don't you? Craig was hitting on it pretty hard yesterday, and they were getting friendly. Saw him exchange phone numbers.
She's on her way to interrogation now.
We rented the weapons from the gun club. I have no idea if they were modified or not. I didn't purchase any ammo. They were for show only. Stan couldn't see renting a .45 automatic when he just bought one. Sure, it was real. Hadn't been modified for safety, but hey, it was unloaded. And it's not like somebody would be walking around the trade show with a pocket full of bullets. Yesterday that sounded more reasonable, I admit.